Here we go then. Apologies for being late. I've got a proper job at the moment. I've just got in, so apologies for that. All the other lads were
Phil made us wait.
It's all my fault. I'm to blame. So with us tonight on this Thursday, we got myself, Philly, we got Jacob, we got the Mad Mistake, Sean, hang on, we got Dino, and we got Michael Bowers. There you go. We're all here to have a chat about it, about everything Sunderland. You can join us on the live chat if there's anything you'd like to ask us. Stick it down there, and we'll try and answer your question. I've only got one topic to bring up this week, so then it's over to you. Have you seen the Zigzag strip? Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Do we think it's a hoax?
It's a piss.
Yeah, it's got to be, surely.
Definitely.
But have you not seen, unless that's a hoax as well, Inter Milan have actually got their strip for sale, and it's a Nike strip, and it's a zigzag stripes as well. So it could well be. And to be honest, I don't think it's that bad.
I knew you would say that. I
don't think it's that bad. I don't.
Yeah. You know, for me, red and white doesn't. It's just not us. It's not.
What, red and white's not us? Is it not?
Oh man, the zigzags, man. I didn't want zigzags. You know, Inter Milan can do what they want. I didn't care about them. You keep it traditional. You keep it red and white stripes, not zigzags. No way.
Donald's trying his best, isn't he? Stuart Donald's trying his best.
I don't think it's that bad myself.
I mean, I don't know whether it's like new fashion going into the future. I don't know whether that's a trend now on their kits, but it's a kit that might grow on me over time.
It's not as bad as the Bullseye one, the thin stripes. That was dreadful. That one.
Bullseye. Are you talking about the championship one? The Bullseye.
17,
yeah, the Bullseye one.
See, I didn't
mind that. I didn't mind that one. I stripped that.
Not for me.
Sean clearly did. He did his traditional eye roll there.
Well.
Right. The zigzag one for me, like, put it this way. Remember a few weeks ago, I think someone asked on the channel, do you not think we need to change our mascot? We might actually change our look. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll change our stripes to zigzags instead of traditional stripes. We might end up going up next year.
Samson's going nowhere, son.
Well, I was going to say, why not just change our... To me, I'm much more bothered about how the team performs in the kit than the kit itself.
Well said.
Why don't we have circles, red and white circles all over the kit?
Oh, see,
yeah, you're being silly, man. The zigzag stripes, the still stripes.
No. I don't want circles. I'd rather have zigzags and circles.
Oh, you know what?
Stupid idea.
I don't think let's just do what we used to do in school. Just go shirtless.
Listen, I still don't think it's that bad myself. Anyway.
Sean, what do you think? Sean, what do you think of it?
About the strips?
Yeah, the zigzag concept strip.
Smacks your eyes a bit dizzy.
Well, maybe that's the point. Maybe the opposition will get like hypnotized by it. Who knows, you know? So
get the zigzags on. Get the zigzags on.
Well, by the looks of it, people mention it on the chat at the moment, and nobody seems to like it. Why am I always the odd one out? I think it's all right.
Tell me.
Stuart Donald does you love.
Right. Okay. Look, I'm going to chuck it over to you, Sean. Do you want to? Have you any questions or anything like that? And if anything, if anything comes in on the chat, I'll make a note of it, and I'll see if we can answer
questions
that
as well. But Sean, you can go first, son.
Well, Jacob, if you've got the questions, I've just got I was ready to point this down.
That's right. Just scrolling down to my Twitter's literally exploded today with the whole Newcastle.
Hang on, but you haven't even got any followers, man, Jacob.
Yeah. What's this about? First I've heard of this.
I'll just get
my Twitter's exploded.
I'll get the first subject I was going to come to, and it's basically the season card sales. Obviously, the club released a statement of the day saying that obviously we sold 12,000 season cards, and now we're obviously suspending the season cards until further notice. Me personally speaking, I thought it was going to be about 10,000 to 15 or whatever, but 12,000, that's the sales, and not due to the social distancing and the safety issues. I think they're just going to spread them around the ground. It's unfortunate for people who haven't renewed now because they can't actually get on the ground. I think the club's just going to use them 12,000 and then just spread them around the stadium. So people who haven't renewed that, they're not going to be able to get on the ground. I don't know what your feelings on that, Michael, on the season ticket.
Well, first and foremost, I think there's rumours of a second spike of there's rumours of a second spike of this virus coming around. So if that's true and we get hit hard with the second spike, then probably with chance we're not going to have football at all. That or behind closed doors. As far as the 12, well, like I said last week, I think that the fact that it's 12,000, I think is actually quite good. I think that's a better number than what I expected it would be. I expected it to be about probably 6,000 to 8,000. So, I mean, first and foremost, if we're fortunate enough to avoid the second spike and the season goes ahead, then we're not going to be allowed in the ground until October, start of October.
October the
yeah. So first of all, you're going to have a couple of people, but you're going to have a couple of games, at least 1 or 2 home games behind closed doors anyway. So for me, fair enough. You know what it is? To those 12,000, I mean, I haven't renewed yet. I was going to, but obviously it doesn't look like I can for the foreseeable future. But for people like Sean who've renewed, and every single one of you who's renewed, unlike the current regime, credit to the club, every one of you.
My mistake. What's your feelings on the season card statement that you showed?
I just what Michael said there. Well done to the fans who have renewed. But at the end of the day, I'm just going to go and watch it in Wincy's garden and get pissed and do a live vlog.
Can I join you? I'll join you.
We might go to the ground outside the ground and try a few clubs and pubs around the ground.
Why not? Why not?
The match is done. I'm sure some of them will be showing it live. You should be able to pay for live streams. I'm sure a lot of clubs around Sunderland will be paying for the live streams and streaming in the clubs and pubs anyway. So,
do you know what your feelings on the season card statement?
It's a good way to reward them fans for renewing. It is a good way. I mean, like you say, I didn't renew because obviously I thought, why give me money away for a seat I'm not going to get? But people who have actually stuck their guns and say I'm still renewing and they can get in the ground and watch a game, I mean, it's a good way to reward them fans for renewing.
Yeah.
But will it happen though? I mean, like you're going to have certain procedures, certain one-way systems and all that. Like, can obviously our ground's massive, so for 12,000 people, so you can spread people out, but are people going to follow the rules of one-way systems and keeping away from each other, jumping on each other when we score goals? So it'll come down to that, really.
My first issue on it, Dana, was I was talking to somebody the other day, was obviously at half time when people was going to the toilets, when people go to the toilets and everything like that, then everybody's always close together. That's going to be an issue, isn't it? I don't know what they're going to do with that, like, and that was the point I was thinking, how they're going to work around that. Do you know what I mean?
Everybody wears masks in shops. Why does everybody just wear masks at the match?
But I think that's going to be. I think you're going to have a mask. I think that's just going to be standard procedure. Jacob, what's your feelings on the club statement?
To be okay. To be fair, I mean, it's good that they've put it on hold for now, the sales, because
the season card sales,
because at the moment, like, the future's so uncertain. But in terms of when if they're allowed to bring fans back into the ground, I mean, there's even talk of potentially even moving it to next year. I mean, that's what I've heard. It's like the safety measures have got to be the right ones that can, like, most importantly, guarantee supporters' safety. That's the main priority right now. Obviously, we want fans to have a good time, but safety does come first.
Totally agree. Like, Philly, what's your feelings on the statement?
Well, once again, everybody who's renewed, well done to them, definitely. But also, if you haven't renewed, I accept your reasons for doing it. I've not, I mean, I'm skint, but I will go back. But if they're doing what they do with the 12,000 where it's capped and then they're not selling anymore because of the social distancing, then I'll just have to watch it live on my big screen with my feet up and a beer, probably round in Wincy's garden with Terry and all them.
What about the pre-match entertainment, Philly? You're going to you're still going to have to have your shows, aren't you?
Of course I will.
Off Wincy. Is that Phil's way of paying Wincy, so letting him come round and having a good join in your garden? Free entertainment for you.
You like Wincy, you get away with just going there, just running it yourself anyway.
If there's if there's fans allowed back in the ground, then I imagine we'll be doing the pre-match stuff back at the Wheat Sheaf. Nothing's been said as yet, so I don't know what's. It's all down to, you know, if you're allowed to have a DJ on and stuff like that. You might not be allowed by then yet. So we'll have to just wait and see. Before we jump into anything else, can I quickly say David Jones on the chat has said, mad mistake for president. He's a good chef and makes a hell of a pizza, apparently. So we'll all be coming round to his house at some point for pizza made by him. The thing is, somebody's also asked, what about today's new signing? O'Brien is.
Aidan O'Brien.
Philly, I was going to bring it up because.
Right. Well, I'll leave that for you in a bit. Then, if you've got that, it's just somebody mentioned it on the chat, so we'll get that if you want. Right, go on then, Sean.
Yeah, I've put a few topics down, but Jacob's got the questions, haven't you? I've got some here as well.
I'll start. Do you want to start with one, Sean?
I'll start with one, 2 seconds.
Yeah. And then we'll go back to them.
Right, we're there. Just trying to find them.
Well, the Aidan O'Brien situation is an absolutely fantastic horse race trainer. He's won 9 or 8 derbies, 8 English derbies at Epsom. I don't know how he's going to fit into the squad, but he comes with millions of pounds. Absolutely fantastic signing.
Our new owner. He's going to be our new owner, man.
Hopefully.
Jacob, you asked the first questions on Snape. Try and find them. You asked the first
question. This is from our guest last week at Mackham Tweets. Grant Ledbetter, first team, squad player, coaching role, or bye-bye? Because we did see pictures of him returning to first team training this week.
I'll go first with that then. I'd like to see him get a coaching role, to be honest. You know, a Sunderland lad and stuff like that. But I think his playing days are past it for us, to be honest.
Terry?
Wise.
The same coaching role. Good ambassador for the club.
Yeah.
Definitely a coaching role. Even if Phil Parkinson can, you know, teach him a thing or two, it'd be good along the way. Get his badges.
Michael?
Likewise, with what the other two have said, I think probably coaching role or at very best squad player, maybe for like the EFL trophy or the cup games, maybe give him a runabout in those ones. But unfortunately, well, first of all, we've got a lot of central midfielders anyway. And secondly, Ledbetter, it's just unfortunate for him. He's had to put up with a lot off the last year or so, or last couple of years. But so fair play to him for that. I mean, if you look at when he played in the second leg of the playoff semi-final against Pompey, that was days after losing his mother, so fair enough. But I think he deserves to be at the club in some capacity, but unfortunately his legs are past it. Can't cope with the speed of the league anymore. It's a shame, really, but deserves to be kept as a coaching role.
Yeah.
Dino?
I wouldn't want him as a squad player because that means if you get rid of him as a squad player, you can actually bring someone else in who's probably better than Ledbetter. So I wouldn't want him as a squad player, even though he is good around the dressing room. But he definitely deserves a coaching role. Definitely deserves one through all the stuff he's been through last year. He's a Sunderland lad. And it was nice to bring him back last year when we signed him, but it was nostalgia reasons, let's be fair. It was all nostalgia reasons. He only had a good corner. He did start scoring from corners when he was playing, but other than that, he didn't really offer much. He was a bit of a passenger at times. And yeah,
wasn't the play we saw at Middlesbrough, was he?
Well, he wasn't going to be, was he? He was 30. No. He was 30 odd.
32, I think.
He wasn't blessed with pace anyway. He wasn't a pacey player in his prime. He just had a good shot and a good pass and stuff, but definitely coaching role. I don't want him as a squad player because I'd like to see someone else come in.
Yeah, finally, Sean.
Just what everybody said. Really, he's a lovely guy, and to be fair, when he first come back, I was very excited. I thought, oh well, he's still a bit to offer something to the team, but unfortunately, his legs is not there anymore. I think somebody did mention this on Twitter. I think it's Baz. It's on Twitter. Baz 1973. I think he says if we play 5 in the middle, then you could probably play him because you could have people around him and you could just play the ball around. But I just think his better days are gone, and I think we just need to move on. And maybe like you've said there, maybe he's offering him a job in the coaching capacity at some point in the club. But his playing days, his legs is just totally gone. He can't keep up. He's too slow.
Yeah. We've got another question.
Hang on.
Go on, Philip.
Before you do that, Jacob, because I want to keep jumping in with people on the
Yeah, that's
chat
fine.
who are joining in. First of all, we've got a Swindon Town fan saying hello, lads. He's watching. Thanks for watching the channel. He wants to know, how do we think Swindon are going to do next season? Because they're going to be in our league, and they have to come up.
Yeah, they got automatic promotion, I think. Or did they? Well, no, they won the league, didn't they? They won the league.
I think they'll probably stay, just survive next season, stay in League One.
But get no points off us because they're
No,
not allowed.
No,
definitely not.
Right, there you go. Another one then. Ryan Coxon has asked, do we think Lee Burge can settle into the number 1 jersey as our first team keeper? Or do you think we need to sign another keeper who's going to be our first team keeper? I imagine he means. Sean?
No, I think Lee Burge is more than capable. I think we've said this before. Is he as good as McLaughlin? I'm not sure. When he first come in, I thought he did really well, and I was very impressed with him. I would just give the young lad, promoting him up to the reserve keeper, and Lee Burge is now number 1. I think Lee Burge will do a good job for us next season. I'm really confident. I think he will bring another keeper in because I think we're going to loan the young lad out. Remember that? I think we was talking about loaning them out. But I think Lee Burge is definitely more than capable to be our number 1. I think he will be a good player for us next season as well.
All right, Michael?
Yeah, the other keeper we'll probably get is Ben Anik. I'm going to do it. Please, Parkinson, don't. Right.
Good parties, though. Good parties.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah, it's a party I won't be attending, put it that way. But Lee Burge for me. Yeah. But Lee Burge for me is definitely a competent keeper. He's not as good as John McLaughlin. I think John McLaughlin, we could find he might be actually quite difficult to replace. But like I said before, the last 2 seasons, John McLaughlin has probably been one of Sunderland's best players, and really that's embarrassing for us in League One. We shouldn't be. We should. You need your keeper in certain situations. Don't get me wrong, but we rely on John McLaughlin too much, in my opinion, to try and get results. I'd like to see us have a team that doesn't rely on the goalkeeper so much. But having said that, yes, I do think Lee Burge is good enough. But if we give him as much help as possible in the defence, and the defence takes responsibility, then hopefully we'll be all right.
Tino?
I've always said I rated Lee Burge. He was Coventry's number 1 goalie. Then we're just outside the playoffs there the season before. And when he played against us, we hammered that goal in the first half and second half, and he pulled off class saves. I mean, people say he's not as good as McLaughlin. Can you really say that? Because we haven't really seen that much of him. He might be just as good for all we know. We just don't know. He's got better kick than McLaughlin. He can release the ball quicker than McLaughlin. So, yeah, I'm more than happy enough to see him as number 1. Maybe got to bring in a person for number 2, because obviously Anthony Patterson's going to probably go out on loan like Parkinson said accordingly. But don't get Ben Anik. Do not get that bloke. You might as well just get Lee Camp back. Just don't get him. Please don't get Ben Anik. Please don't. No.
All right, Mad Mistake, what do you think?
Is Lee Burge only 27?
Yeah.
I think if he works on his distribution, he can become a decent goalkeeper. I think if he can put a bit of work into that in the pre-season. I thought his distribution wasn't fantastic last season when he took over from McLaughlin. But apart from that, I think he'll be all right. I think he'll do a good job.
Fair dues. Jacob?
Yeah, I think Lee Burge is more than capable to step up in the number 1 jersey next season. But it'll be interesting to see if he brings in potentially a goalkeeper that could rival him, because I'm not sure. Is there the possibility maybe of Anthony Patterson going out on loan?
That's what we're talking about.
I'm not too sure. Yeah, because I think he may potentially bring in a keeper just to give Lee Burge a bit of competition. But I think Lee Burge will be number 1 at the start of next season.
Right, fair enough. Right, have you got another question, Jacob or Sean?
I've got one off, do you know, Morgan, our goalkeeper on the 5 side. He asked a question during the week, and he basically said...
I know what this is. I know which one you picked out.
What would your reaction be if Vince McMahon actually takes over Sunderland. Now, Vince McMahon is the owner of the WWE Wrestling. I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter all this week. It's been rumours. I put a tweet up saying fake news, because it's just absolutely stupid, really. Because I mean, you've got William Story as well. He was linked, but Vince McMahon being our owner. I've gone to Dino. What's your feelings on that?
I wouldn't want him. He knows nothing about football. He's American. We've had an American owner who knew nothing about football. I wouldn't be confident. I don't know. Well, obviously he's a wrestler. I mean, do you really want to see a wrestler own Sunderland Football Club? Probably do what Ellis Short done and bring in the wrong people. And I want a football man. I want someone who knows what they're doing, not someone who's just going to say, "We'll take a risk. If it works out, great. But if it doesn't, we'll just sell it." No, I do want him. No.
Michael, what's your feelings on Vince McMahon?
Right, okay. I'm probably I haven't got a clue about wrestling, so I'm probably going to confuse WWE and UFC. But can we get Dwayne the Rock Johnson? Can we get Dwayne the Rock Johnson and John Cena into the club as well? Then?
If you smell,
Just go. And his name is John Cena.
That's not bullshit.
What's your feelings on that?
well, nah. Like Dino said, yeah, we need to look away from this one. Apparently, he ruined 2 attempts at his own American football league as well when he tried to go down that business front. So yeah, for me, it's just a recipe for disaster. Inexperience when it comes to English football and the knowledge of running a proper football club. To be honest, I can just picture if he came in, the goal tune would be the John Cena theme song. To be honest, I think that's the main contribution.
That'd be funny as anything.
My mistake, what's your feelings on Vince McMahon?
Vince Vaughn, I think he's a kind of actor. I like him in the Wedding Crash. Was it the Wedding Crash?
No, it's not.
Vince Vaughn then. That movie when he was with Jennifer Aniston, that was fantastic, but I wasn't a great fan of it. He's a bit dry humour, isn't he? But as far as Vince Vaughn, I mean, I don't like to say we don't want any Americans here. No more Americans here. So that's about as much as I know about any Vinces. That's it.
Who are you talking about there, Terry?
Vince Vaughn.
James.
Not the actor.
Never heard of the other bloke. Never heard of the other bloke.
Well, for me, I mean, I didn't watch the wrestling. I haven't got a clue who he is, and that's before I do that, I want to give a shout out to Cod's Vlogs is watching. So hi, Cod's Vlogs. So great YouTube, the Fleetwood fan. So hello to you. Thanks for tuning in. For me, no, I don't know who he is. I'm hoping it's a hoax. But what I'll throw out there for you lots is, who do we think that these new buyers are? I mean, obviously, Nick Barnes in his interview was suggesting that because the due diligence thing's already done, he feels it's somebody who's already been involved with the club. So do we think it's any of them, or has anybody heard anything that it could be somebody else? Or?
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one person that definitely isn't, and he's keeping on piping up all the time on Twitter, and that's William Story. The energy drink, the energy drink company.
The 50 million for the players and all that.
He says he's going to invest 50 million. As soon as he comes in, invest 50 million. He says he's got a plan. He says he's going to do this and do that. I think it's all just a.
Well, everybody said he's a bit nuts, for want of a better term, I suppose. But people who said anybody who knows Formula One will know that he's seen as a bit of a joke. So I mean, I don't know the guy. So, but it all seems it ties in with all this stuff that he's spouting off in the press and what have you. But there you go.
Nick Barnes put a tweet up, Philly. I don't know if you'd seen it because you've been at work, but he put a tweet up saying that he believes. Sorry, he didn't put it. It was on BBC Radio. He said he believed that because of the due diligence, like you were saying, it's going to be being somebody who's already been in talks with the club, so that can only lead you to the FPP or the AS Monaco owner, Dimitri Rybolovlev.
One Santani's
relation. So I mean, if that was the case, if it was one of them two, I tell you what, that would be absolutely fantastic for a football club. I mean, that'd be like a dream come true if it was FBP or the Monaco only.
All right, Michael's trying to get in there, Michael.
Well, I was going to say just very quickly on the Monaco owner. I'm pretty sure that wasn't on Nick Barnes' official Twitter account. I think that was someone who.
No, he said on the radio, Michael. He actually said it on BBC Radio, didn't he? On Newcastle.
Oh, I haven't listened to it, so I don't know.
I sent you the link, didn't I?
Probably did. Do you know it's probably did? I think too tired.
Michael, have you not been doing your homework? Wait, man, Sean sent you the link.
Come on, Phil. I've been having a week off, man. Been having a week off.
Right, Jacob, have you got another question? What people have sent in? Because your Twitter went absolutely mental apparently this week.
No, went mental today because today of all reasons because of what's happened at the Mags.
That still counts as this week.
wait. I've lost the page.
Sean, have you got one while he's trying to find one?
Come back to me. Sorry.
It's so mental. He's lost his questions.
I've got one.
Go on then, Mad Mistake.
What's your thoughts on the absolute horrible garbage music that our players run out to at the stadium at this moment in time? I think it needs to be scrapped and changed straight away. Charlie Methven, what is this bouncing music? It's absolutely diabolical. It's horrible.
Dreadful. Dreadful. I totally agree with you. Absolutely dreadful. There was nothing wrong with the Dance of the Nights coming out to that and building up the atmosphere.
To be honest, I liked it, me. I liked it. It was bouncing. The thing is, that's my generation. It's my generation. It's not
trying to say
Phil's
we're all
generation
too
or
old.
Terry's. It's my kind of generation of music.
Yeah, me and Terry want a bit of ABBA as they come out. Come on.
Do you know
God, no.
Everyone's going to have different opinions on the music. Just go back to what we know. Maybe, like you say, get done.
Horrible.
But people don't like the music now because it relates to Charlie Methven. That's why people want it out.
Do you guys not like was it Oscar Chamberlain's comments he tried to make how the song is like slow and boring, it doesn't get you up for a game when you're walking into the stadium, or do you think his comments were a bit too much there?
Apparently it was research was done, wasn't it, as into certain types of music what get you your blood pumping and ready for battle, if you like. So that was the theory around it, was that it was chosen to get the players up and ready for it, but I don't see that myself. Like,
do you know the Dance of the Night? So I mean, while Sunderland lads, right, when the stadium first opened in '97, right, Stadium of Light, Dance of the Nights, I was like 14, 15 when I was first in the ground, and like the music, the Dance of the Nights, when that come on, the Hazy neck, they come up, and that's the song which for me. It symbolises the Stadium of Light, and it symbolises when that song comes on, the players are going to come out soon, and it just gets you. I think it gets you going as well. It gets you hyped up, and it gets me ready for the match. And like now that's changed.
Well, it hasn't changed because they still play it.
They still play it
before they have all the bouncy stuff. So they do still play it, but they don't play it as like where the players used to come out.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't play it.
Maybe I'm ready to go.
But it used to be better when they used to play it just before the players used to come out. I think used to get the crowd up and everything. That to symbolise our ground, and it's been like that for 20 years. And then Charlie Methven comes in, and maybe he's just trying to change things up. But I don't think a lot of people don't like it.
That's pretty much what it is.
Right. Before we go to Jacob, that's your cue to get your next question ready, right? So before we go to Jacob,
I've got.
I just want to say that Cod's Vlogs has asked a question on the chat, which we're not going to answer because we did say we're not going to be swearing on the channel this week. How much do you love Joey Barton? He says, but we'll go no further there because without swearing, we can't.
Can we pay a visit to a few months ago when we did our last Sunday bunch, when we did this John McLaughlin Blackpool hat-trick alternate reality? Can we jump into an alternate reality and be really sarcastic and go, hey, Joey, I absolutely love Joey Barton. Completely love, what a lovely bloke.
Well, he's a cracking bloke, isn't he? Anyway,
what a guy.
Doesn't break the law. He doesn't punch anyone in the face. I mean, he's a lovely bloke.
I'll tell you what we need to do. What we need to do, we need to get Cod's Vlogs on 1 week as a guest. We'll get him on. Right, before we go to Jacob, we've got somebody else on the chat here. My wife Karen says, Phil, I'm going to run the bath and then stick the pizzas in oven. So there you go. Right, Jacob. Well, give us a question.
Here's one from @American Mackham. Let's talk football, or soccer as they say over there. Formation you think formation you think we will see. I'm guessing that's based on the current players we've got in the squad. Any surprises in the lineup? Any youth left that can make an impact? And any pre-season games that you think will be lined up?
Who's that to then? Go on, Dino.
I'll go Dino to start with.
I reckon we'll still stick with a 3-5-2?
3-4-3.
3-4-3. I think we'll stick with a 3-4-3 because I think Parkinson likes that formation. Any young talent coming through? Probably the only one, probably Elliot Embleton, because obviously he got injured through last season. Other youngsters, we're selling all the other youngsters, so no one's going to be coming through because we're selling them. And what was the other part of that question? Sorry.
Season games.
Any surprises in the any pre-season games lined up?
Pre-season games, I think we'll probably play South Shields again, because I think there's a bit of a relationship bond in there because we're loaning them our players. So I think there'll be a one there. And pre-season, well, we're not going to go abroad, are we? We're not going to go abroad, so it has to be in the country. But it'll probably be against League Two teams, conference teams, maybe. I don't really know, but I think Shields will definitely be one.
Michael?
Well, formations, we're probably going to end up sticking with the same that we did for last season, which I think was a 3. I think it was meant to be a 3-4-3.
3-4-3, yeah.
You know, but if that's the case, then we need to get Bailey right through the door pretty quickly. For me, preseason games, pretty much what Dino said. I don't think there's any point in going abroad at this point. You might as well just stick to local ones. I'd try and get a few games against some championship teams personally. Try and test the squad and really get us to play decent teams, and then we'll know what to expect, because League One will be a battle next season. Brandon Taylor's a funny one because obviously he signed a 1-year extension today.
Yeah.
And for me, Brandon Taylor, this is a big season for him, because if he doesn't break through in League One while we've got a threadbare squad, then he probably, unfortunately, is not going to make Stadium Elite. So I'm going to say Brandon Taylor might actually surprise a few people.
Yeah, same.
Well, actually, Jacob, were you at the Gillingham FA Cup replay?
Yeah, very solid centre-back. Honestly, he's not afraid to get stuck in. He's a good positional play as well, and comfortable on the ball. So hopefully we'll see a lot more of him. It's all about him getting his chance there.
Is this a youngster we're talking about here?
Brandon Taylor. He signed
I've not sold him yet.
No,
I've not sold him, because that's what we seem to be doing.
He signed a one-year deal. There was apparently interest from Premier League clubs as well. But the worrying thing for me is he only signed a 1-year deal, so it's a bit like the Magic situation. If he gets into the squad this season, he'll break through, and then other clubs will be looking at him, and then he'll probably get sold in January.
I think Stuart Donald would have probably put a clause in if he plays so many games, he gets another 2 years, because if he is playing badly, they might say, right, well, we don't want to. We might just let him go for free if he's not that good. But if he's good enough, you play him the right amount of games, and then he automatically gets a 2-year extension, because that's the model Stuart Donald said he was going to do. So he avoids the Magic situation again.
Yeah, well, that's what he does.
That's what I'm guessing.
He didn't do that with Mumba, did he? So,
Terry,
they mustn't rate Mumba. They mustn't rate Mumba.
Right, see, I think the formation, 3-4-3. I think as long as everybody's fit. I mean, Flanagan signed a contract, was good. Willis and Bailey Wright's apparently going to come the next couple of days when he comes back from holiday. So I think we'll definitely go with 3 at the back. And I think obviously bringing a few more players in, I think that will be the formation this season. But like I say, Brandon Taylor, if he can break into the squad this year, it's his chance really, because he has shown potential. So let's hope he can get his chances this season.
Fingers crossed.
Terry, what do you think?
I'm hoping Elliot Embleton's going to be a star this season. Hopefully he'll stay injury-free, because hamstring's a funny injury. It can come back every now and again, like an old friend knocking on the door. So hopefully he'll stay injury-free. I think the 1-year contract thing with Brandon Taylor is just to pass the book over to the new owners, to give the new owners an opportunity to offer them a better contract when they see things and have more money available. As for formations, I do like the old. So you have the goalkeeper up here, and you've got the 3 centre-backs and the 2 wing-backs, and they can cut down inside to help the midfielders, but also go down the wing. And obviously, if they get the ball to this bloke up front, and put it in the back of the net, we could win some matches this season. We might even get promoted.
Thing is, though, we don't have one of them things called a striker, though. We don't have one of them.
We might have one now.
Terry, you need a
Right.
magnetics board, man.
And that.
Oh,
Well, the
I'm
magnet-
old school. I'm old school.
You know what you need to
Really
do?
old school, man.
You need to have it on the board and do the Simon Grayson "Still Until I Die" thing, and just address
the
all the
flip
players
chart.
and explain.
Lads, what's your feelings on that sign? Like Aidan O'Brien, he's only 26. He's obviously signed a 2-year deal. Isn't he? I was looking at his stats earlier on. He's 188 appearances. He scored 34 goals. But I was talking to a couple of lads earlier on, and Millwall fans are saying that he was a really good finisher. You know what I mean? So, what's your feelings on signing him?
Can we quickly, before you jump in there, because I want to keep chugging the chat in so we include people on that. So before we answer that on the new signing, Cass Pops thinks we'll win the league, which I agree. We'll probably be up by Easter. I would have thought anyway.
Not that again. Not that again.
Liam SAFC thinks we'll finish second behind Wigan, right? And speaking of Wigan, we've got a bit of comedy on here on the chat from Denholm 13. Apparently, we need to sign Matt Ritchie's little brother at Wigan. He looks amazing. His name is Mabolza. Matt Ritchie's little brother, Mabolza.
Right.
Dino's struggling.
I'm probably struggling. I'm having to fucking know what you're talking about.
Matt Ritchie's little brother, Mabolza.
Someone. Is there tumbleweed flying across the screen?
All right.
Sorry, like I'm having a fucking clue what
I'll
you're
tell you
talking
what.
about.
I'll tell you what. Forget that. Let's go and get Jamal Lowe instead.
Right. So this new signing you're on about, what we thinking of him? Is that what? I mean, I don't know nothing about him, so leave me out of this one because I've been grafting.
The reckon he's a really good finisher. I was saying earlier, I was just talking to lads when he played for Millwall. He was loaned out a few times, but the say he is a good finisher. I mean, we have been down this thing before. Where
is he a striker then? He's a striker.
He's a striker,
right.
He's only 26. He's Republic of Ireland international. He's got 180 appearances. He scored 36 goals or 34, I think it is, and that doesn't seem great. But I have heard that if he gets the chances, he will put them away. But I'm on the fence a little bit. Like
I've heard that before.
I don't think he's an out-and-out goal scorer. In League One, he's obviously better than the Championship. Championship, he scored, was it 5 goals one season, 6 goals the other season? Where in League One, when he was a bit younger, he scored 15 goals in one season and 16 the next season. So he doesn't make the cut. I don't think he's he's not like a Josh Madge who's going to score like 20, 30 goals. I think like in League One, he'll be quite good. He'll be a decent squad player, whether he's up to the job of playing week in, week out and getting all the goals. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen him that much, but I think League One, he'd be good enough acquisition.
I think if you're looking at playing him as say, like I think I've heard that apparently he can be a wide forward as well. He can play like on the left side.
Wide.
So for me, that part of me thinks this is Aidan McGeady's replacement. But in saying that though, like I said, I think O'Brien is one that I looked it up based off Wikipedia, so make of that what you want to. And I had a comment from Millwall fan on my own video that I did on this. Go and watch it, by the way. I'll plug my video. And I had someone respond to us on Twitter. I think it was something along the lines of Millwall apparently I've really loved using him over the last few seasons, but they're at the point now where they want to start trying to push towards the playoffs. So that strikes me as they view him as a mid-table championship player. And in the last 3 seasons at Millwall in the championship, I don't know how many of these were sub-appearances, but he made 83 appearances in the last 3 seasons in the championship. That, to me, suggests that, again, he is a mid-table level championship player. Well, I'm hoping anyway. If he's a mid-table championship player, then he should thrive for us next season. But like Dino said, we've been down this route before. Will Grigg, someone who should be good enough but hasn't delivered. So fingers crossed O'Brien does deliver.
Yeah,
but I want to stress, we can't stop here, though. Get more signings.
Yeah.
Get them.
I don't think he's a striker. I think he's a winger. I mean, can you see Phil Parkinson dropping Charlie Wyke? I don't.
Well, he wants rid of him, doesn't he?
Simple as that.
Who's going to buy him? It's good enough saying you want rid of him, but who's going to buy him?
He's
Well,
definitely
when
a striker.
Ipswich linked with it.
He's definitely a striker. Like, definitely a striker.
He's got no
think
pace,
we'll
was he?
have
He's
to
not very
look
fast. He's not very
No,
fast.
he's not.
The big question is, who would you play alongside him?
Well, in the system he's playing, if he's playing a 3-4-3,
Would he be the only striker?
I'd be the only striker. But I
We
hope
need pace around him.
Charlie Wyke, if he persists with Charlie Wyke.
Do you reckon he's going to be one of them strikers who moves everywhere? Like he's just going to move everywhere? Because obviously Charlie Wyke just stands there and he doesn't do much.
Like
Will Grigg doesn't even know what he's doing himself. So do you reckon this is going to be the striker who's going to be making them runs where we're dying for someone to just make a run? Do you reckon he's going to be one of them who just makes runs in behind all the time?
I think he's going to be.
I hope he's a striker with. He's going to have loads of energy. He's 26. He should have bags of energy. He should never stop running the whole match because he should make up with the energy rather because hasn't got much pace. Make up with energy and be everywhere, you know, like a Johnny in the box type figure.
I would tweak the formations. I'd play him alongside Grigg to start, but I'd play like Maguire in like the number 10 role, playing in behind. So it's a 3-4-1-2. I think that's the way forward going into the start of next season if you're going to fit him in the team.
Fingers crossed.
Time will tell.
What do you think about Ian McGeady? I mean, do you think he'll come back? Or I mean,
Nah,
no.
he'll be gone. He'll be
It's
gone.
looking like he's on the break of
I
going.
think whilst Phil Parkinson's in charge, I think his bridges are burned, to be honest. So I don't think there's any way back.
But didn't Sean say that McGeady was on like 16k a week or something?
16 grand a week, yeah.
So if that's the case, then you know what's going to happen. He's going to be one of the first ones out the door.
Of course he will.
If Charlton had stayed up, I think they probably would have signed him permanently. But now that they're relegated, we shouldn't be looking to sell to them anyway. We shouldn't be looking to sell McGeady to anyone one. So just get him off the books because Parkinson's not going to get on with him. Then
I don't know, Philly. Sorry, Terry, go on.
What happens if he takes a pay cut? And
Well, here's one then.
He's already taken one though, hasn't he?
If it was up to you, would you include Ian McGeady in the squad for next season?
It depends. It depends what's gone on behind the scenes. Probably depends. Donald's wanted him out full stop, and it wasn't Parkinson's decision. If he's fell out with Parkinson, then fair enough. But if he hasn't fell out with Parkinson, it was Donald who wanted to kick him out and wanted to make life difficult for him in the first place. Then it just depends what's going on.
I say no because he's part of the old regime in the Championship. I think he's the only player left from the old regime, and I think we play worse when he's in the team. It's all past to McGeady. If McGeady can play as a proper team player, get back, do all the right things, and fair enough, but he doesn't. He's too old for that. His legs are going. Last season when he was playing for he didn't even look like a standout player. He looked like a normal League One player. So for me, I'd just get rid. 16 grand a week. You can get 2 more players in for that, probably 3. Just it's time to cut ties with McGeady. You know, his time's done, in my opinion, anyway.
Right? Can I quickly jump in again? Coming through.
Yeah, you always do.
Yeah.
On the chat. Include the people on the chat, the people who are watching. They want to get involved, man. Not listen to you lot flipping droning on.
The channel then.
Right, listen. About the takeover and the potential new buyers. David Walker has said that Nick Barnes said yesterday, we won't know until the end of August at the earliest.
Fingers crossed, it's my birthday.
So that's that was said there. Craig S thinks the new owners will be FPP with Glenn Firm as chairman, apparently. And also, William Tucker has been on and said, what are our thoughts of being linked with the 24-year-old centre-half from Northampton? Now, I know nothing about him. Anybody know anything about that?
Only that Middlesbrough have been linked with him, and there was one of the
Borough.
Someone else has been with him. I think it's I can't remember who it is, but for me,
is he any good then? Do we? I
don't know. You have to.
I don't know much about him.
Who's he with? Northampton.
He's with Northampton apparently, but Northampton got promoted, didn't they?
Yeah, so they'll be
in the playoffs. So they're going to be in our league anyway, aren't they?
Philly, I've got a question for you.
Hang on, before you do, I think Mad Mistake wants to come in.
You know what really bugs me at this moment in time?
Go on then.
Why do we not know who's trying to buy Sunderland? Why are we not allowed to know?
Non-disclosure agreement, probably.
NDA agreement.
I'm happy it was that way, to be honest.
So no one can go and harassing
Unfortunately,
them.
it isn't. Unfortunately,
So no
it's
one
not.
can go harassing them. So if you
Yeah,
don't like them, you
exactly.
can't start saying you better not buy Sunderland.
But if you don't want to be in the limelight, if you don't like being harassed and this, that, and the other, you shouldn't be in the limelight. You know.
Well,
It's
Kerry,
Well, it doesn't mean that they can't buy the club if they if they don't want to have that prominent position. You
Just
can
don't be on
still buy
social
the
media.
club and maybe that's what we need. A total opposite to what we just had.
Do you think
I mean, Stuart Donald and the owners, just wanted all that. Enjoyed the fame and exposure of it all. So maybe that's what we need.
I have no problem. I think the owners shouldn't even be on social media. Full stop.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's for me. It's like when you're in charge of a football club, you shouldn't be on social media. And I think that was one of Donald's. I didn't agree with anybody giving him abuse, like this, that, that's wrong.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying, but
I realise not.
he left himself wide
children
open
as
by
well.
being on there. Do you know what I mean?
That's why you have fan liaisons officers.
That's true, but it doesn't excuse people being idiots towards.
Especially to his children as well. That was
people
shocking.
got to start using a brain and using common sense.
I don't like Donald, which is all no, but I wouldn't like see anything thingy about his family or this, that, and the other. So
you don't like Donald? What?
No, I don't like the way he's run the club. As a person, I don't know the bloke personally. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
anyway,
there's
no if the takeover goes through, fingers crossed, if it's FPP, do you think they'll stick? Do you think they'll stick with for the partners, or do you think they'll bring their own manager in?
What would the point be of causing that disruption of bringing a new manager in when if it's allegedly going to be the end of August? It's only about 3 weeks till the start of the season. There's no point manager. There's no point. Parkinson will know the squad. He knows what. I like to think he'll knows what we'll need. He's the manager that has done it in this league before. Just stick with him. Simple as that.
Me personally, I think that if a new owner comes in, I think they'll put all their new team in, and I think it won't matter. They'll change the manager and everything. And I understand what you're saying, start the season, but why not do it at the start of the season rather than wait? And if things don't go right, then we wait till Christmas before
because you then get another transitional phase, weeks of building a relationship again. Of knowing what your team is. We don't need not in a season like this.
Michael, one thing, there's going to be no crowds at the start as well, so there's going to be less pressure to begin with. But then, obviously, when they start slowly coming back,
but again, we can't afford this season. We've got to go up. Whether we think it's real or not, we simply have to go up. Do not mess about with getting new managers in at the start of the season. If Parkinson's already brought the signings in and the new manager doesn't rate them, then we're going to be stuck in a loophole again. There's no reason.
But it's only the same as if you do it at Christmas. You've got that transitional period of settling in, and you might as well do it at the start. Anyway, Dino's trying to get in. Dino.
For me, you only get rid of Parkinson if you can get a manager who's going to guarantee you promotion. So, for example, if he says
mad mistake,
with his genius tactics, so if you can get someone I'm being hypothetical, if you can get a Sam Allardyce in, but you're going to get the best out of the players and you probably will get promoted, do it. But if you're taking a chance on someone who you don't really know much about and he's had kind of success in other leagues, you don't take that chance. Just keep it with Parkinson. But if you can guarantee a manager who's going to come in, get the best out of players and get promoted, then you do it. But there's no one in there's no one in League One who actually can guarantee you promotion.
I think if the owners have got plenty cash, right, then there could be a realistic chance of getting someone like Sam Allardyce, because the only way you could ever get him to come to a League One club would be for financial reasons. I know he keeps saying there's unfinished business here and stuff like that, but they might have that financial clout to do that. But
I don't know. I think that changing the manager, I agree with what Michael said. I think Parkinson, he's had promotions out this league. I'm on the fence a little bit, which I normally like to make a decision, but I think he knows the squad now. He knows what we need. If we do change now, it could hinder our pre-season and the start of next season. So I would stick with Parkinson. But I mean, if FPP took over and they just want to lift the whole club and they brought Phillips in, and that's a risk but it would. I mean, the club's been down last few months, hasn't it? To be fair, but it would lift the whole club. If Phillips was to come in as the manager, I'm not saying to do that. I just think that's a risk. But I mean, it's a risk we've done in 2006 with Roy Keane. They paid off. I mean,
just before you come in there, Dino. I mean, I'm only saying what I think. If owners come in with plenty of money, what happened? I think Phil Parkinson should be given a chance and should stay on. Dino's trying to get in again. Dino?
I was going to ask Phil, how long we got left? And I mean, how long we got left on this now?
We've got 10 minutes.
When are we going to get on to Newcastle? Because I think that's what we need to talk about as well.
Right.
Can I talk about Newcastle?
Dino, I'll just see you right 2 seconds because I've got the statement here of the. I've got the statement. Keith Downey obviously put a tweet up earlier on. It was basically Keith Downey, Sky Sports News, breaking news. The Saudi-backed consortium led by Amanda Staveley has formally withdrawn its bid to buy Newcastle United. They saw the amount of time that the takeover was taken, coupled by global uncertainty, and has forced them to pull out with a deal. So on that note, lads, hashtag cans. There you go.
I didn't.
Believe you me, if it happened to us, the mags will be laughing. So
listen, was that announced today? Because I mean, I've not seen any news today. Yeah. That was announced today. So the Saudis have pulled out.
They pulled out. So they've withdrawn from the bid. So the Newcastle takeover is off. Michael, what's your feelings on that?
First of all, didn't someone on this chat have a can of Coke? I'm sure they did.
That was Dino.
Dino, come on, open your can, lad.
It's already open.
Michael, where's your can?
Couldn't even wait, man. Right, okay, serious note. Yeah, look, I the way it went on was an absolute farce. I don't know how they had to wait like 4 months to reach a decision like this. If this was gonna not happen, they might as well have reached this decision ages ago. The Premier League, if you took your Sunderland hat off, which is quite difficult to do, I admit, it's a farce the way that it's gone on. But having said that, I couldn't bear the idea of them being the richest club in the world. We wouldn't have heard the end of it. So am I happy? Look, of course I am. It was the other way around. They'd be laughing at us. But at the same time, look, it is. Exactly. I've got a few mates who are Newcastle fans who aren't or not as anti-Sunderland. You know what it is? Fair enough. I can understand they're frustrated. They won't improve till Mike Ashley goes. But yeah, the Saudis. One last thing, Saudis want to come and buy a North East club.
Just Michael, just not them. I mean, can you imagine if Newcastle got took over? I mean, the bloke it was going to out. He was worth about 300 billion. So I mean, these define things in history of football clubs. Like back in 2016 when we lost Sam Allardyce, our look just changed. Now Newcastle, if this went through, we could have changed their look going forward. Now this hasn't happened. This could be the bad. They could go on a really bad. A dip now and they could get relegated and they could just change their look.
Depends if they continue with what they're doing with Steve, possibly.
Do you know what I mean? So these fine margins of getting, they could have been the richest club in the world and now they're not. You know what I mean? So
put it this way. In the 21-22 season, let's hope we're playing them. Put it that way.
It won't be for a while, unfortunately.
Well, my mistake.
Probably not.
As a neutral, if you're a neutral fan or if you're just a lover of football, a lover of the North East, you want both clubs in the North East to be taken over by rich owners and to replace Manchester United and Manchester City at the top of the Premier League and winning all the trophies. That would be great for the North East. And I can understand how Newcastle fans feel very disappointed as we were when we thought we were going to be the richest club. We're taken over by the Americans. It's sad times. It's gone on too long, like Michael says. It's ridiculous. The Saudis, the country, Saudi Arabia, should never be allowed to buy a football team in England with the what's going on with the human rights issues and all that. It's ridiculous. Yeah. They're disgusting. The way that journalist was murdered, it's awful, right?
Exactly.
But as a Sunderland fan, I'm really happy that it's felt a bit. I'm not going to gloat it. I'm just happy that they're not going to take over the world. There you go.
I think we know what Sean thinks of it. By the way, I'll tell you what it is. I think there was the common phrase Niall Quinn used for Sunderland that if Sunderland fans had a team as good as the fans, they'd be in Europe. And to be fair, Newcastle they've got a very passionate support. Likewise, I think if both sets of fans had teams worthy of the fan bases, we'd both be in the top 10 Premier League pushing for Europe. I don't think it's outlandish saying that.
Yeah.
I still think they're just living in the early 90s though, when the world record for Alan
Oh,
Shearer,
God.
15 million.
I will love it if we
move on and
make
get up, like, and just face the facts. They see it. They were in a pure meltdown. And on Sky Sports, some of the supporters, I'm thinking, well, look at us, we're in the third division, you're in the Premier League. Just, you know what I mean?
Sean, remember, they're allowed expectations and we're not. That's how it goes. That's the narrative.
They're saying Ashley's killed the club. Ashley's killed the club. No,
You
they're
want
in the Premier League. You know what I mean?
you want all the North East to prosper. You want all the North East to prosper. You want the North East to take over England. That's just my opinion.
I'm not going to lie.
Manchester United and Manchester, all the London clubs to fall away.
Right. Well, for me, I mean, I was dreading it. I was just thinking. I mean, like I said, I'm not as bad as I used to be. I would have. If they'd have been bought by the Saudis once upon a time, I'd have probably jumped off the bridge or something like that. That's how bad I would have taken it. But I'm all right now. I'm a lot more mellow, and yes, I wouldn't have been happy with all the gloating, but that's where we're at. Can I just quickly say that Cardiff 2-1 up now.
Wow.
At Fulham, so that's 3-2 to Fulham at the moment. There's
not on fire.
There's 25 minutes left on that, so they've gone 2-1 up at Fulham, and it's
just one thing to say on the Newcastle takeover. I want to call out a journalist, Luke Edwards, for this because and this is actually a serious issue here, because he called that Newcastle fans, with the turmoil of the takeover, no wonder they're feeling depressed and suicidal, which for me is completely insulting to people who have mental health difficulty.
Well said, Michael. Well said.
I completely get Newcastle fans being frustrated. This have got every right to be. But for me, when you use language like that, and you're basically comparing one of the biggest killer of men, I think, is it men of a certain age?
Under the age of 40.
Something like that. So, Luke Edwards, if you're watching this, don't you dare use that terminology, because there's no need for it. And while you're at it, try and cover Sunderland a bit more, because you're a North East sports reporter, like bollocks you are.
Can I have my say now, please?
Yes, go on. Sorry, Dino.
Sorry.
Oh. Have you got Dino? Before you have your say, have you got that joke yet?
Nah, still over here. I haven't a fucking clue what you're talking about. I haven't a fucking clue what you're talking about. I must admit, I said from the start, I didn't think it'd go through because, let's be fair, the North East clubs don't have the best luck. I mean, it was like, however, Newcastle being the richest club in the world, it was never going to happen, man. It was never going to happen. They're not a Manchester United or City or an Arsenal, like these teams. They're just a potential club what could break through. And I just didn't think it was going to go through because it took too long. However, man, no club takes 4 or 5 months for a takeover to go through. And like, as a Sunderland fan, it's great because there would have been like the new Liverpool. Oh, we won the league. Oh, look at us, the richest club in the world. Like, you'd have all that. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, they're not going to go any further under Ashley. Ashley's just going to be milking the money, like stay in the Premier League, 100 million every year, spending the least amount possible. They're going to have to get used to it until someone else comes in. But how many times has this happened in Newcastle now? They've had that many people try to come in for them. It's been turned down. So I think they just need to get to grips. They're going to be with Ashley for the rest of their lives.
Right. This was the first time, though. This is the first time that it was out of Ashley's control. He agreed the price and everything was done. It was down at the Premier League. It was the Premier League. Well, in fact, it wasn't the Premier League. The Saudis in the end, they just pulled out of it. You know what I mean?
Can I quickly jump in because we are running out of time? Jacob, if you want to have a say on this, do you want to have a say on it?
Yeah, I'm just over the moon. I'm going to be sipping a few more cans tonight. Happy days. Hashtag cans, yeah, exact. But what Dino was saying about, was it the Northeast? Like, the main good look we have is the passion in our fan bases. Like, in terms of the big clubs, I think we outscore them in terms of fans, like the passion of our fans in every department. We have the best supported fans, best like passionate fans in the world, in my opinion, the Northeast.
Right, nice one. Right, it does just about wrap it up. We haven't got through everybody on the chat, so apologies to that. I will give the last word to Stephen Hensel, who we know, fan of the show and all that. And so hi to you. Has Dino not paid his electric bill?
I can't turn the light on. The lights are there. I'm not getting up.
Sean, yours went out.
No chance.
I've got to say, I think Michael, what's happened to your electricity bill? You're very dark.
Oh,
as well?
simple. I'm like Dino. I've just been a lazy bugger and can't.
Right, all right. Right. Look, thanks to everybody for
Oh, can I just
tuning
say
in.
something as well?
Oh, come on, then.
I've just realised
You've got
Sean
the
hasn't
joke.
said anything about Stuart Donald this whole show. I cannot believe it.
Hey!
I actually can't believe he hasn't said anything.
Here's to that.
Right.
That's a sign. That's a sign. That.
Right. Just
Good omen. Keep the faith.
thanks to you lot for tuning in and watching. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. It's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. Just do that. So subscribe, hit the bell as well, and give us a like. Comment on the video what you think, and if you'd like to be involved, you can tweet Sean. His handles in the bio down there, or any of us really. Jacob, Mad Mistake, Dino, or you're on as well, or Michael, any one of us, if you want to get some questions on for next week. And I think that's it, isn't it? Are we all done? Are we all happy? Right, so from myself, Wee Philly, from Jacob, from the Mad Mistake, from Sean Middleton, Michael Bowers, and Dino, we'll see you all next week. See you, bye. Woo!
How are the lads?
Right, see you all. Ta-ra.